Okay, so starting out with number 22. I'm not going to write the whole thing, but it says if Joelle invests $8,000 into a retirement account with 9% interest rate, compounded monthly, how long will it take until this single payment has grown in her account to $16,000? So the total amount is what we're trying to get to is 16,000. So this is A.
So
The principal amount is 8,000. So this is P.
that's R.
The Can you let me do the problem, please? The interest rate is R, which is a decimal, which is 0.09. So R equals 0.09. What does it mean for it to be compounded monthly? 12 times per year. So K is equal to 12. And we want to know how long it's going to take. So T is what we are trying to find. So it's been a few days. So our formula is A equals P times 1 plus R over K raised to the KT. And so we need to plug stuff in, and ultimately we're trying to solve for T. Just so that it's set up in a minute, I'm going to put the A on the right-hand side because I'm going to have to use a log to undo. It's an exponential. So I'm going to do 8,000 times 1 plus 0.09 divided by 12 raised to the 12t equals 16,000. I'm going to divide by 8,000. So that's going to be 2 over here. The 1 plus 0.09 divided by 12. I don't even know where my calculator is. Somebody else is going to have to do it. I don't know where my calculator is. So this is going to be 1 plus 0.09 over 12 raised to the 12t. You can go ahead and do it as a log to undo this. So it's going to be log base, whatever this number is. So I'm just going to write 1 plus 0.09 over 12 of 2 equals 12t. So you can tell me what this number is when you get it. And it'll allow you to just type in 1 plus 0.09 over 12 when you do it. Just make sure you use parentheses around that fraction so it's not an issue.
How many are we rounding to?
Well, to give it to me, you can do like 3 decimal places, but we're just going to hit, like, when you get that answer, then we're going to divide it by 12. I don't want to use a rounded number.
I got 92.765.
And then we'll divide that by 12.
$7.7.
7.7 what?
3.
So 7.73 years. I don't know. Let me see if I can figure out how they write their answers. in years and months, or if they just want you to leave it as years. Okay, so they take it to years and months. So we know we'll have 7 years, but we have 0.73 of a year. Any idea what we need to do with that? Yep, multiply by 12, so 12 months in a year. So 0.73 times 12 is what?
8.76 years.
So we'll just round that up to 9 just to make it easy. So 7 years and 9 months will be how long it takes. Any questions on that one? All right, next one. Again, I'm not going to write the whole thing out. I'll just write out important information. The president of a bank has $18 million. In his bank's investment portfolio that he wants to grow to $25 million in 8 years. What interest rate compounded annually does he need for this investment? So I'm looking for the rate, and it is compounded annually. So we have a special formula for that. I think I spelled that wrong. Okay, so this $18,000 is the principal amount. $25,000 is what we're trying to get to, so that's A. T is 8 years. R is what we're trying to find. And it's compounded annually, so we have a special formula for that. So this formula is A equals P times 1 plus R raised to the N. So trying to solve for R. So I've got, again, I'm going to flip this just because of what I'm going to end up. Well, no, I'm going to leave it for right now. I may not need to flip it. So I've got 25 million equals 18 million times 1 plus R raised, I don't know what, well, raised to the 8. I'm going to change this to T just for enough to not be confusing, but we use T and N interchangeably when we were doing them before. As long as you know what it means, you're good. So I need to divide by the 18 million. So basically all the zeros are going to go away, and I'm just going to be left with 25 over 18. So I'm going to have 1 plus R raised to the 8 equals 25 over 18. Now, I don't need a logarithm to undo this. What can I do instead? I'm trying to solve for R. Yep, take the 8th root. So 1 plus R equals the 8th root of 25 over 18. And remember, under math on your calculator, you can do the nth root of it, and it'll just ask you to put in the little number in the box to get that number. So you'll get this number, and then you'll subtract 1. So So whatever you get, just subtract 1 and then tell me what that equals.
I got 0.04.
Yep. So then it wants, how did it say? The interest rate. So we want that as a percent. So we'll say then that this is 4% for our final answer. Any questions on that one? Hopefully these aren't the scariest word problems you've ever seen. They're not too bad. They pretty much give you everything you need, so. All right. The last one is going to be one that's a little bit harder, but they still give us everything. It's just a matter of plugging it into the formula. So 54. This one's about a house mortgage payment. Roberta obtains a 25-year $100,000 house loan with an APR equal to 9.25% from NBD Bank. What is her monthly payment? All right, so this is a little bit different than the way that obviously we've had these other present value problems, but this is a present value problem. So the present value is $100,000. That's the loan. The APR is just your rate that we've been calling R. So R is equal to 0.0925. 25 years, that's going to be T. Now, monthly payment, so it doesn't explicitly say this, but it'd be like K times per year. So K is equal to 12. And so the piece that's missing from our present value problem is big R, which is what we're trying to solve for. So present value equals R times 1 minus, in parentheses, 1 plus I, raised to the negative n over I. I is equal to R over K, which is going to be 0.0925 over 12 in this case. Somebody can say what that's going to be equal to. And n is equal to T times K, which is 12 times 25. So that should be 300. Somebody have what I is equal to?
0.008.
All right, so now I can set everything up to solve. So I've got 100,000 equals R times 1 minus, in parentheses, 1 plus 0.008 raised to the negative 300 over 0.008. So probably the easiest way is to multiply this 0.008 times the 100,000. What do we get when we do that? think it's going to be like 800.
It's 800.
Is it? Okay. So 800 equals R times all this stuff that's left on the top. So, oops. Well, I'm going to put a parentheses. Okay. 1 minus 1.008 raised to the negative 300. So I would say just figure out what this number in here is equal to, and then we'll do 800 divided by that number. If you want to do it as a fraction, you can do 800 over 1 minus 1.008 to the negative 300.
I got 881 and 6 cents.
6 cents, you said?
Or, yeah.
Okay. So depending on what you rounded, like the answer that we got is a little bit off from the book. Depending on if like what you used for I or if you plugged it in directly and kept that the whole time, obviously your answer might be a little bit different, but it's close enough to what they had. So this would be the monthly payment here. Okay. Any questions on that? All right, problems then, only 3 of them, 21, 27, and 51. And then basically for the next 2 days, we'll just have some like review stuff to go over to be ready for the test on Thursday.